One of the crucial skills that each data scientist and data analyst should know is the knowledge of databases and language which you can communicate with the stored data in a specific database. Among all the different database languages, a structured query language, also known as SQL, is the most sought after in job requirements. Therefore, in this video, we are going to focus on a brief roadmap of databases and SQL topics which each data analyst and data scientist should know. We categorize all topics into 6 different topics which you should learn. Let's go through each of these topics and see what are the essential concepts in each category that you should put in your plan in order to learn them and implement on your project. The first step which you have to learn as the data analyst are the concepts of the databases, in which you should know the different principles for designing databases, relationships, and also learn these concepts in both wizard steps and query languages and different configurations, settings, which you should apply when you want to design the databases. Of course, the role of designing databases needs more knowledge and more points which you should know, but this is not the duty of the data analyst or data scientist. Just the initial learning about the concepts of database is needed, since sometimes you need to talk with the admin of databases, or sometimes you need to create some testing databases for yourself. So if you want to learn the details of the database and the designing of that, you should go through the roadmap of the database admin, which is more complicated and in more detail for the designing databases. After learning the initial concept of databases, it's time to learn the data manipulation language, in which you should know how to manipulate data in terms of inserting data, updating, deleting, truncating, and merging. Because sometimes for different databases, for different tables which you have in your database, you may need to alter some of its configurations, or you need to know how to insert or update your data. Of course, if you are working as the business intelligence developer, these concepts would be more crucial to be learned. After learning these two concepts, it's time to go through the most important topics of T-SQL for data analysts and data scientists, which is query. The query generally assists you in extracting the data in the format which you need from the database. So it is really important, because as the data analyst or data scientist, you are working with data and you need to extract the data in the format which you need from different databases. That can be the marketing database, the database in which your customers' data are stored, or the data about the sales or human resources. No matter which database is you are working with. In the query, first of all, you should learn the logic behind the query. For example, the simple select, in which you select the data from your database, how you can group your data with different conditions, how you can make a relationship between different tables, because always the data you need is scattered within the multiple tables, and you need to make a connection between tables. Therefore, you should know the logic of join in order to make a connection between them. For these concepts, we have provided a video in our channel in which we start from the zero knowledge for learning the logic of queries up to the advanced query, in which you can write your query with different conditions among different tables in order to extract what you want from your tables. So I recommend you to watch that movie later. Another thing which is important is the concept of subquery, the query in which you write it within the general query, and that can be from more than two even. After that, you should learn the concepts of table expression. One of the important points about table expression is view, and after that, the drive table, which is another type of common table expressions, and learn how to work with table expression because they help you to store your data within the table. And of course, two other important topics in the query part would be about the actually user-defined functions and stored procedures, which are popular in the query languages. These topics are enough for the data analyst and data scientist in order to learn the concept of queries and write their customized queries within their project. Let's go to the next topic, which is the window functions. Window functions is one of the advanced topic for queries. I recommend all data analysts and data scientists put a specific time for learning window functions because window functions helps you to solve different challenges which you have in your projects, and this is kind of analytical tools which enable you to conduct different queries. There are 4 different window functions for different purposes, from ranking functions, aggregation functions, distribution, and offset. So I highly recommend you to learn window functions if you are working as a data analyst or data scientist. After that, you need to learn some concepts of index. In order to learn that completely, you should know the logic and the structure of data files, what is heap table, and 3 different indexes which you can have within your database: clustered index, non-clustered, column store index. If you're working with fact and dimension tables, I recommend you to learn the column store index because it really improves the performance of the fact tables. So the index topic sometimes comes into the topic of performances because it helps you to improve and enhance the speed of your queries. But because this is the really important topic, I consider it as this separate category. The next things, which is somehow important for data analysts and data scientists since they are working with different tables, it's about the concept of maintenance, because you should know how to keep your tables and get the backup from them within the duration that you have defined for your business. In order to learn the maintenance, there are 3 concepts which are really easy to be understand. One of them is recovery model, because all the backup policy which you want to have for your database is based on one of the recovery model types which we have. So firstly, you should learn the recovery models, then the backup, and how you can restore. After that, the last part as a data analyst and data scientist would be about the performance. Imagine that you are in the stage that you have written your queries, but you want to know, is my query efficient? Can I make it better in terms of speed, in terms of its usage from resources that I have or not? In this part, you should learn different data types. When you want to design your tables, you should know the dynamic management view, DMV, log file, and data file. They are structures because they're really important in terms of determining the problems which you face in the performance. Column attributes, different columns have the different attributes in which you can change them and directly impact on the performance of your database. Different monitoring tools in order to compare different queries in terms of their usage and their timing, and detect which one is better and more efficient, and the execution plan from each query, because within the execution plan you can understand is your query efficient or not. So this was the general overview of the topics which you need for T-SQL if you're working as a data analyst and data scientist. We tried to compress all the topics in the efficient way in order to make your mind more disciplined for learning these topics.